Okay, so this is Mr. Kramer, and I'm filming a short video just testing some properties of acids and bases. So I have right here a classic acid, HCl. You'll notice that it's got an H in front, which gives us a hint that this is probably an acid. And then I also have here sodium hydroxide, which you'll notice has a OH at the end, which is a good indication to us that this is a base. So these are both fairly concentrated solutions, and I have a small sample of them in each of these beakers. Now, what you might notice is that both of these just look like clear liquids. You might think of acids as bases in a movie where, you know, it's glowing green or bubbling or something, but oftentimes what makes acids dangerous is that they look just like water. So it can be useful to have some way of telling if a solution is an acid or a base without first having to taste it, of course. And so to do that, I have a couple of tools with me that I've borrowed from our chemistry lab. One of these is what we call an indicator. So this is just a liquid solution that I can just add a drop of into one of these acid or base solutions, and it'll change color depending on the pH or the acid-base characteristic of the solution. So we're going to try this out. And then also right next to this, I have something called pH paper. So I open this up. And inside there's some little strips of paper. These papers will actually change color based on how acidic or basic it is. So to the left here, this is a lower pH, which we'll learn about later, but that means more acidic. And then to the right, those higher numbers where it's green and bluish, that's for higher pH or for bases. So red, orange, that's acid, green, blue, that's base. And then somewhere in the middle would be neutral, like water. So I'm going to start with a phenolphthalein. So I'm just going to unscrew this, and I have a little dropper. So, I also have some water here. So water can be used as a test as well. So I'm just going to go in here and take a little drop, some of this into my syringe here. I'm just going to put a drop first into the acid, and we'll see what happens. Didn't look like much happened there, so would say that phenolphthalein has no effect on the way an acid changes color. Let's see if I can get a drop into the base here. And wow, immediately you see this really cool effect where the solution has turned this pink color. And that is a classic indication, using phenolphthalein, of the presence of a base. So with that knowledge, let's go ahead and see how this indicator would act inside just normal water. Okay, so we got a little bit here. I'm going to add a little drop, and it looks like nothing. So that's how the phenolphthalein will behave in each of these. So it'll turn pink in the base. In this case, it turned back from being pink. If I added more, it would stay pink. And then in the acid, it won't change colors. And then next, I'm going to try to use one of these little strips. So I'm going to have to pull out a strip here. And okay, so I've ripped the strips into smaller pieces because I don't have many of them. So I'm going to pick this up with a pair of tweezers. I'm going to touch it to the water and pull it out. And we'll see if I put it down on this piece of paper. You can see that it didn't change color too much. It maybe is a faint, a slightly lighter green color, which if we compare to our pH meter, looks like it should be right around 7, which is what we would expect for a base, or sorry, for water, which this is water. So we wouldn't expect too much of a change. If I take that same piece of paper, which was in water, I'm going to mangle it here, 1 second. Okay, same piece of paper, I'm going to put it into this base here, and we'll see what happens. And as you can see, almost immediately, it turns into a nice blue color. So I'll just set that there. And if you compare that to the pH meter, or the indicator here, that blue color means this has a pH of at least 11, which is very basic for this sodium hydroxide. And then now we're going to try with the acid. Okay, so I got the pH paper. I'm going to go ahead and dip it in the acid. And voila, it comes out a nice red color. And again, if we pull out our indicator bar here, this looks like to be a pH between 1 and 3. So it's not quite as red as pH 1, but it's more than, it's definitely redder than pH 3. And so that's a classic test that shows that this is an acid. So we had two ways of testing. With the pH paper, which we can dip in, and it'll give us a nice estimate for whether something's an acid, a base, or a neutral. And we also have these chemicals like that we call indicators, like phenolphthalein, which we can add little drops of either to water or to a base or to an acid to see the difference. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more of the phenolphthalein in here to just see that pink color one more time. There we go. So now I've added a significant amount more, and you can see that this really turns a strong pink color. All right, so that's it for this video.